Hi there. Welcome to Ask the Unicorn, also known as The Way of the Unicorn. I'm Horazi Deliza, and this is my stalworthy sidekick, Kazi. Right now she's playing Silent Bob because she has a throat thingy, which is kind of funny because she's always talking and she's not talking tonight much. So all she'll be doing is just giving me the questions, and then I will answer any type of questions that have to do with the paranormal, the metaphysical, the spiritual, or the mystical. As long as there are two types of questions that I do not answer. Most of you know this. For those of you that do not know this, I do not answer questions as to whether or not someone is going to die, and I do not answer questions that have to do with someone cheating on someone else. If you want to know the answer to that, just ask those people. Okay. Besides that, anything else is fair game, as so long as you do not try to get free readings out of me. I do readings, I do classes, I do seminars, I do workshops, etc., spiritual counseling, telepathic counseling, but those things I do not do for free. However, if you need healing, that's something entirely different. I do healing practices, and it costs you nothing to do those. Besides that, any question that you ask is wonderful. I'd like to again welcome you all. This today is the what?
July 30th.
Today is July 30th. This is episode 44. Okay. I'll try not to let her talk too much. But we went to see Hercules early today, and it is definitely a movie worth seeing. It was very exciting, very good. I was pleased with it. They had some fantastic sets, and the cinematography was awesome. And, The Rock has grown as an actor. He's come a long way since Scorpion King. But it was definitely worth seeing. And I would actually go see it again just because I do film. And, God, their sets were great. They had these beautiful horses. The costumes were impeccable. The set design was impeccable. The camera angles were awesome. Even The Rock's acting was pretty good. I had a choice to either to go see that or go see that skinny chick. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson and Lucy, which I'm sorry. I don't like that film at all. And I'm going to try not to rant on this show, but, I might as well tell you all, I am not pleased with that particular movie whatsoever. It's like Ultraviolet on racism. Ultraviolet, I kind of like Mila Jovovich, but, this film was, I don't care what anyone has to say. And I saw the kind of people that actually went to go see this film. They were all wearing Bermuda shorts and tennis shoes and fanny packs. So anyway, that aside, I thought The Rock's movie was excellent. I thought the other actors were excellent, although the woman that they cast as Atalanta could have done some kind of workout, anything. Yeah, she missed leg day over and over and over again. Just like chronic leg day misser, kind of like Scarlett Johansson. I wish when they put women into prominent roles as strong and superhero women, they would at least get women that have at least one or two muscles, to make it a little more believable. But that being said, I had a wonderful time with all of the women that actually participated in the Gaia chant over the weekend. They were awesome. And for those of you out there that participated, you know who you are. And I thank you very, very much. Valkyr is coming to form very, very quickly and very, very wonderfully. Now, that being said, also, I'd like to make a shout out to all of those independent filmmakers that are in Maine and that are in the New England area. Keep up the good work. They are doing some wonderful work to bring you all wonderful entertainment, and I hope that you do back them. I saw The Rock's movies today and looked at all of the sets and the set design and how they got the cameras to do everything, and I just kind of sat there for a moment and went, wow, this is fantastic. I really suck. you know. But it was fun, nevertheless. You know, I don't have any money. If I had the money, I would not suck as bad. But compared to what they did, even with all of my creativity, you kind of need money to make all of that creativity happen. So if anybody happens to have some extra money and you would like to invest in a movie, I'm your guy. I'll give you a good movie. Just send me some money. You know, so let's see. Now, I need to get on to some of the questions tonight because it looks like we have a few. What have you got there? Okay. Hi, Patricia. How you doing? Smiles. Patricia Dones is in the house. What's up? Okay. All right. So we have some pretty cool questions today. What do we got? First off, you can read some of them, can't you? Okay.
From Louis
Never mind.
Steele.
Never mind. Okay. This particular question is from Louis Steele. Hello. On several occasions as a child, I saw what I can only describe as a bright red luminescent cloud-like object that would float around my room. Initially, I was absolutely terrified of it, and I genuinely believed that it was real. Was this an hallucination or something more? If so, what could it have possibly been? As far as I'm aware, I was and still am mentally robust, and I was on no form of medication at the time. Well, you know, being mentally robust really doesn't have anything to do with it. When you see something, you just see something. There are a lot of things that are in this world that have absolutely no explanation, at least on a scientific grounded level. Remember, we live in a dimension that is hooked into other dimensional happenings, and no matter what you say, no matter what you think, there are things that are far beyond the capability or the explanations of modern or even archaic science. In this particular instance, it sounds like you just either saw something that was an astral projection, an energy form, or even a thought form, or perhaps you saw something that was just a bleed through. I have to point this out also. There are other life forms that are here with us. Just because we don't see them all the time does not mean that they don't exist. You know, you don't see a Tyrannosaurus Rex running down the street either, but it existed. You know, so I would say more to form that it probably wasn't your imagination, especially since it has such a profound impact on you mentally and emotionally. There are things that we can see from time to time that we just kind of discount and say, well, you know, it might have been a trick of the light, or it could have been maybe a car passed by, the light shined and then reflected off the wall and gave that type of an effect, or maybe there was some extra condensation. Notwithstanding the fact that there are physical phenomena that happen on the inside of a place where you just get a manifestation of a cloud, and that's due to certain condensation within a room or within an area, kind of like fog, but just local. And at the same time, there have been incidences where there was what was called ectoplasm that manifested inside of a place that may have been visited by an entity, or maybe something that was just passing through. Okay, so unless I was actually there, I can only give you the possibilities of what it is. You know, I would actually have to see something, you know, or at least be in the place so that I can tell you where that energy emanated from, since it happened to you so long ago. If it was something that happened now, I could probably tap into wherever you are now and tell you pretty much what it is. But it sounds just like an astral projection. Remember, we have 5 different forms that we exist in. We exist in a physical form, an astral form, an etheric form, a spirit, and a soul form. The physical, ethereal, and astral forms are those things that are hooked into this world. We exist in the etheric field of the earth, and therefore we are connected to each other. It's a field that actually keeps us alive, if you want to get real technical about it. And sometimes there are anomalies that happen within that field. Okay? Which will lead me to some other things to help when there are people that are paranormal investigators, those that are intuitive, and I don't mean any insult at all, are definitely superior to those that rely on equipment. You see, equipment relies on electricity, and electricity relies on batteries if you don't have something plugged into the wall. However, if you have not paid your CMP bill, you will not even have that. So it's definitely better not to rely on one's equipment all of the time. But to point out from the beginning, your being mentally robust has very little to do with it. I am also a person who is very mentally robust and also very critical. I'm probably the most critical of the paranormal world that you'll ever encounter. I go through every single possibility before I elevate myself into the paranormal, even if I'm standing there looking at a spirit, which happens constantly with me. You know, I still look to see if there are other things that are around. Perhaps there's something that is just an energy projection or something that just happens to give that type of a holographic energy field that may have happened because of a lightning storm. You do know that if there was something in a lightning storm and a lightning bolt struck too close, the image would actually be infused within the glass so that you would see it kind of like a hologram. That's just electromagnetism. That's the way that it works. However, there are also things that happen on the inside of a home that can share that same property. So you always have to investigate fully. And a lot of times electromagnetism doesn't really register on, or excuse me, the paranormal energy doesn't really register on electromagnetic tools. There are so many different forms of energy. That particular instance that you encountered may find its way back to you again. And if it does find its way back to you, then I'd be very interested in your encounter. So I hope this helps you. Definitely nothing to be afraid of. But many people will try to tell you that it is something that is a great foreboding, but it's not. I mean, the fact that it was also red in the world of vibrational frequency, in the mysticism form, red is the color of God and creation. So I hope that helps you out and you can find some peace with that particular instance. If you are interested in that instance, I suggest you do some investigation. Okay. Let's see, what have you got now? Oh, hi Julie. How are you? Julie Desjardins. And let's see, we have Elise. You have protective ways to, Elise asks, how does she keep herself from being slimed by ectoplasm at night? Well, you have ways that have been tried and true. You know, you are a prayer warrior. You know what to do. All you have to do is do it. Which brings me to something. There are a lot of people out there that are in the spiritual world that know exactly what to do to help themselves, know exactly what they're to do to help others, but refuse to do it for one reason or another. Maybe you're just lazy, which is something that does happen in the spiritual New Age community. Laziness occurs randomly. You know, you really have to take care of yourself. If you are someone who is looking to do something like lose weight, you can't just diet, nor can you just exercise. They kind of go together, and even then, those are not enough. You've got to entertain a healthy state of well-being, mentally and spiritually. Okay, spiritual meaning reality. You've got to actually give yourself some positive reinforcement, not just sit there and eat like kale all day and think that that's going to help you lose weight. It'll probably help you get scurvy or something like that. But you've also got to make sure that you're getting enough water. You've got to make sure you're getting enough rest. You've got to make sure that you're maintaining a healthy mental attitude. You've got to do them all. You can't just do one of them. And for those of you out there that are kidding yourself saying, you know, I can lose weight. I just, you know, only eat a little bit of cheese and a tiny amount of bread, you know, and, you know, I can have all of these sweet things that I want and I'll be okay. You know I need to lose the weight, but I'll be okay. No, you won't. Just do the thing, you know. Do some exercise. Do exercise and eat. But starving yourself is not going to do it. It never has. It never will. It will make you sick. Eat healthy. Put yourself on a good exercise program. If there are people that are trying to get you not to do the things that you need to do, get the frig away from those people, okay? Otherwise, you'll wind up looking like Scarlett Johansson. Sorry. But I just want to tell you, there are things that you have to do in order to maintain your life. You want to be healthy, do healthy things. Okay? If you don't want to be healthy, fine. Don't do healthy things. But You know what to do. At least I know you know what to do. You are one of God's chosen spiritual warriors, so be the warrior that you are. Say your prayers. Do your prayers. Do those spiritual exercises. Not just once in a while. Do them daily with diligence. And that goes for anybody out there that needs prayer. Don't just talk at God or goddess. Say something. Talk with her, but then have a good talk with yourself to do the things that you need to do. Okay, what do we got here? Alicia Valentine. Hi, how you doing? How's your son? He's a good boy. Can you tell us about dragons? I've seen a big red dragon coiling around a woman on a throne. Oh, interesting. That's awesome. Okay, well, let me just tell you a little bit about dragons. What dragons represent? They represent the life force. They represent the energy. They also represent power. So depending upon the type of dragon and whether or not the woman is you, then you are actually coming into your own power. And that's why it was coiling around you, and there is a throne there. That throne represents your seat of power, and the color of the dragon was red dragon, which is creativity, which is also beginning. So there's a new chapter of your life that's about to begin, and I would look for it. Okay. Other than that, dragons are really gigantic creatures that don't like it when you tamper in their affairs because they know that we are crunchy and taste good with ketchup. But dragons are real. Don't ever let anybody pretend or try to tell you that they're not real. They really are real. And they represent power and mysticism, magic. And in many cases, creativity and prosperity. Okay. What do you got? Michelle Ayot. Hello. Speaking of energy, when I started seeing things were electric green, but now they are not. Why is this? That is because you are changing. Things do not stay the same. For all of you out there that believe that your aura stays the same color the whole part of your life, you are incorrect. Your vibrational frequency field, or aura, changes minutely depending upon what it is that you are thinking, what it is that you are doing, who it is that you are with, and what type of experience you are having. This is the way that it is. That vibrational frequency field is one that protects you, and it is also one that enables you to transform energy that is from the outside inside. In other words, it's like a giant translator. That's why it constantly moves. For something to remain static means that it can be circumvented at any point in time. But if that vibrational frequency field is constantly moving and constantly changing, it cannot really be circumvented. And also, it represents a limited perpetuosity of your life. So, no, it does not stay the same color. For all of you that believe that you were born with a certain color aura, and it's still that color, you are wrong. Do not care which book you read. I do not care what show you have seen. I do not care how many times you have viewed The Secret. The truth is, your vibrational frequency field changes depending upon your encounter, experience, life, who you're with, when you're with someone, where you're with them, and how many you're with, and how many thoughts that you are thinking at any given moment. This is the truth of things. This is not a fabrication. It is the absolute truth. Okay? So, what you would do is you would discover what it is that you're going through right now. And you said that it used to be a green. Remember, we're dealing with relationships and union, okay? Because you're integrating a lot of things into yourself at the moment. Now, you are growing in that integration. So, of course, it's going to change. Now, if you're growing in that integration, that means it is going to change to a grounding type of a color. All you have to do is make sure that you're following my instruction, which is to write down the things that are happening to you so that when we do have our classes, I can sit there and tell you exactly what it is that you're going through. But right now you're going through a grounding and foundation experience. That's what that represents. Okay? So I hope that does help you. You're such a great inspirational speaker. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Jade Cardinal says no. Okay. All right.
No other questions.
All right. No other questions?
Not yet.
Okay. So there are not any questions. However, if you do have questions about the paranormal, the metaphysical, the spiritual, And the mystical, please give us a shout out. You know, you can give us a call at 207-347-5686, or you can just go to our chat room and you can ask a question. Now, we've been on the subject of a lot of different things, and creativity being probably the main focus of things. You know, everyone is going to go through a change. And that change has to do with their level of creativity. It also has to do with their level of inspiration. It also has to do with their level of awareness of the spiritual. And I will tell you for a fact that I told you guys a while ago that the dimensional curtains are getting smaller and smaller. Well, in some spaces, the dimensional curtains don't even exist now, which is really quite interesting because we're in the middle of a series of supermoons that are having a dramatic effect on the emotional bodies and also the feeling bodies of people. And what it's doing is it's causing also bleed-throughs of other dimensional activities. So if you're hearing a bunch of strange things, or you're seeing a bunch of strange things that are just fully manifest, not just kind of willowy type things, this is the reason. Our Earth is going through a shift of magnificent proportions, and it's a prime time for you to start developing. It is a prime time for you to get a handle of those things that you need to get a handle on. Okay? And it's a wonderful time for you to start developing yourself. However, you cannot develop yourself if you're doing it in the closet or you're trying to do something secretive. If you really want to develop yourself, you have to start standing up for who you are. Now, I do realize that a lot of you are born into religious families. I was one of those. And a lot of times that religious conditioning will cause you to not say anything or want to just keep everything nice and calm. But let me tell you something. A lot of the things that are called wrong by religion, based upon what they say is in the Bible, are wholly incorrect, because a lot of those things didn't even come along, or words for those things didn't come along until well after the Bible was written. And I must point this out. The Bible was not written during the time that Jesus was actually here. Okay, so what you have to look at is some of the. Remember what I told you is that you don't just accept that everything is mystical or paranormal. You have to start off with the physical parts of things. And if you go back and you start doing some research, you'll find that the Bible was actually written by a bunch of guys that were locked up in a room. And yes, guys that were locked up in a room and told they will not be able to leave that particular place until they wrote what someone wanted them to write. That's not God to me. The Word of God doesn't need interpretation. The Word of God does not need something forceful. Okay? You don't lock a bunch of people in a room and declare that that's what the Word of God is. True, that Bible does have a lot of truth in it. And I'll be the first one to tell you that. But I also know that it has a lot of agenda in it. So, for those of you out there that are afraid of religion, stop being afraid of religion. Remember this and this alone. I always refer to this particular thing. Jesus said that we are gods, and we will do godly things. And do things like Him and even greater. I also take into consideration the fact that I know where my gifts come from. And no man on the face of this earth is going to tell me that I'm evil simply because I'm doing what God gave me to do. What Goddess gave me to do. You always hear it. God created man in His own image. Well, God is obviously also Goddess. Because somebody created women, and let's face it, without women on this planet, we suck. Totally. And I have to say the same thing for men. You know, a lot of women out there are just, well, I can do without men. No, you can't, because without men, this place would suck equally. Okay? We are here with each other. We need to get along and see that God and Goddess don't have our issues. Okay? They're not looking to see which one is better or who gets equal rights. And, you know, the bottom is this. God and Goddess are one. Period. They gave us gifts. Gifts so that we can remember who we are. And remember the fact that we are one with them. And not afraid of them or not their enemy. You know, most people don't even want to see God. They don't want to know God because they're too busy being afraid of God. That's kind of sad when you think about it. You know, no one ever thinks about how God must feel. Everyone's running around saying, "Oh, God, I fear you." The one that created you. The one that makes sure that your needs are fulfilled. The one that if you just ask him will make sure you're okay. But everyone's running around fearing God or being made to fear by religion. I say that religion has done more to turn people away from God than the devil ever could. And I'll say even further that a lot of those people that are causing fear are not working for God. They're working for the other guy. And a lot of those that say that there is no goddess are really blind. I serve the goddess. Yes, I'm Christ-centered, very Christ-centered. But understand this. I am a servant of the goddess. Don't ever forget that. And since I serve the goddess, I also serve God. You should all be that way. And understand this, there's not a gift that was given to me that can be called evil. And I will use them. Unafraid, unabashed. I will stand as tall as I can possibly stand and use those gifts proudly. And I will tell others to do the same thing. And guess what? If they persecute you for it, they're not of God. And if they have a problem with what I've just said, tell them I am really easy to find. And no, I don't run. So, use your gifts. Be who you are. I am entirely humble. And because I am entirely humble, I am confident. You see, confidence is the child of humility. I know where I came from. I know exactly what I'm capable of, and I know exactly how I've been. I had good teachers. So, I'm very confident. And even when I screw up confidently. With that being said, let me look and see if there are more questions. No more questions? Okay. Remember, this is the show is called Ask the Unicorn in the Way of the Unicorn. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, don't be afraid to ask them. Hi, David Beal. Awesome. We're glad to have you here too.
You have to read it out loud. Otherwise,
Oh,
other people don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about with you mumbling either. Okay, so David Beal says, "Hi guys, I've been missing the show lately, but I'm glad to be with you tonight." We're glad that you are here too. Good. So, what would you all like to talk about? Would you like to talk about dimensional changes? Would you like to talk about dimensional shifts? Perhaps ghosts? Perhaps angels? Perhaps hauntings? Perhaps those things that are illusions? Those things that are real? Perhaps you'd like to talk about vibrational frequency? Would you like to talk about astrology, numerology, telemetry, psychometry? Well, telemetry and psychometry are kind of the same thing. Would you like to talk about regression, soul travel, soul retrieval, meditation? What?
We never finished with the elements.
Okay, we never finished with the elements, and the last element that we were actually on was Earth. Okay, or was it water?
You gave the stone.
Oh yeah, I gave the stone discipline. Okay, for all of you that have your stones, that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, well, I can't just start them there because there's some people that weren't here then. Okay, so what I've been doing is teaching every once in a while about the elements. Sometimes we get inundated with a lot of questions, but we're not tonight, so I'm going to.
We have a color.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
If you can all find a white stone approximately 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter, smooth, and I mean white stone. I don't mean for you to find a stone that has a patch of gray in it. I mean for, black and white. I mean white. And yes, it does have to be a stone. And I don't mean those kinds that you go find out in your garden that are made kind of the stuff that they call quartz. I mean a real stone. Okay? It should be smooth. And once you find that stone, I would like for you to soak it in salt water overnight. Okay? And when you soak it in salt water overnight, I'd like you to set it next to a candle, light the candle, white unscented candle, and let it burn out. Once the candle has burned out, you'll do away with the residual wax and whatever the candle came in. And then I will give you something to do with that stone. For those of you that have already made it to that particular point, it's real simple. You'll hold the stone tightly in your hand. You'll envision yourself inside a circle of those stones. And you will say this: in the name of the Holy Father, Divine Mother, the universe, and my living spiritual master, or my living spiritual representation, I choose Jesus, so I say Jesus the Christ. You choose who you want to. And then you say, I so charge you, stone, because you must direct your attention to the stone. You have to direct your attention to the stone, because remember, each of us has a part of those that have created the universe within us, and therefore we have charge to do certain things. And this is one of those things that you are doing. You are going to communicate and speak to the stone. Why? Because this stone is a living being that is in your care. So you will infuse it with your energy, and you will say, I so charge you, stone, to guard, protect, and shield me against all darkness, all negativity, and all evil in all its forms. You will continue to hold it, putting that particular thought into that stone, focusing every bit of your attention into that stone with the thoughts that I have just given you. And then you will say, in the name and nature of the Christ I know as Jesus, or whoever you so choose, I so charge you, stone. Hear my request and command. So it is. So it is. So it is. And you will blow upon that stone, giving it your breath. And from that point on, no one, let me repeat that a fourth time, no one may touch that stone except for you. No, you do not have to let someone else touch it. I don't care what kind of guilt trip they try to put on you. I don't care how they try to threaten you. I don't care how they tell you that it's wrong. And I don't care how they try to make you feel, oh, but you won't let me touch your stone? But I thought you loved me. You do. But you love yourself more. And you take that stone and you put it away. You keep it on you if you'd like, but you put it in a sacred place. And wheresoever you go, the energy of that stone will be with you to guard, protect, and shield you. This is the power of Earth. Remember, there is only one stone. And I know that sounds really airy-fairy, and I apologize, but it's the truth. Whatever stone you have is a part of this earth or a part of another earth. And therefore it is with you wherever you walk, because you are walking upon this earth. Do that. There's a symbol that goes on the stone that I've told you all to draw. For all of you that do not have that symbol yet, I need for you to go through the steps. And when you do, you let me know and I will give you the symbol. Okay? That's how it is. Alright. So, I hope that helps you all. What do you got?
I have a few questions. I also have a caller on the phone.
Okay. So let's deal with the caller. Hello.
Hi, Z. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I think I need to turn my
Yes,
Okay,
when when you all call in, please turn your volume down. Otherwise, it'll create kind of a funny delay.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. So I wanted to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, thanks. So years ago, I was just one day, I was really tired. I went and laid across my bed, went to sleep, and I had, I don't know if I was kind of waking up or what was happening, but I heard a voice. It was a really gritty, nasty, like disgusting voice, and it said to me, I want that key. I want the key. Well, give me the key.
Hmm.
So like, and that was several years ago. That really, when I woke up, I was like trembling, and I started to learn about the symbolism subsequently of, keys and
Yes,
so on and so forth.
yeah.
And I went through a whole lot of changes and a lot of stuff happened. The other day, I was in my room sleeping, and I had this dream. This was about a week ago. And in the dream, I heard, it was like as if I was awake. And I heard this woman, she was screaming, and this man was screaming, like yelling at her. And I went to the window, and I pulled back my curtain, and he was attacking her outside of my window. And she was screaming, for help. And then while he was attacking her, he looked up at me, and I hurried up and closed my curtain. And then I went back to sit on my bed, and I heard him say something I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like as if he's going to attack your mother. I'm going after your mother and your father next. And,
Did you call the police?
When I woke up, I
Hello?
had the same feeling
Hello?
I had,
Thais?
when I had
Thais?
the dream. And it was the same voice. So I
Why?
wanted to ask you what you thought about that.
Thais?
Yes.
Now, this was a dream that you heard someone being attacked, right? That you saw someone being attacked.
Oh, I didn't know who the person was. No.
No, I asked, was this a dream?
Oh, I'm sorry, just because the phone was breaking up. Can you repeat that?
Was this a dream? This was a dream that you saw all of that happening, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Mhm.
All right. So, I understand the whole thing about the key. The key is that person's identification, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and there are key holders. Now, was this person saying to you that they want the key?
So the connection is pretty bad. Sorry about that, Z. What did you say?
Okay, I'm asking you, that person that the voice that you heard that said that I want that key, because I know what the key is. Okay, were they talking to you, or did you just hear them?
I just heard the voice, so I thought they were talking to me.
Okay, all right, that's all I need to hear about that. Now, the other thing, did you recognize the woman that was being attacked?
No, but I did recognize that it was the same voice that I heard last week was the same voice that I heard all those years ago.
I see. Now, I need to know a couple of other things, all right? The woman that was being attacked, did you get a good view of her?
Did I get to see her?
Yes.
Yes, I saw her.
Okay, tell me what she looked like.
She was very well dressed. She looked she looked like she could be Hispanic. And
Was she small?
She was like as if she was coming home from work, or she had like some kind of she just looked really well dressed, like work clothing or whatever. She was very, very attractive, and he had her pinned down, and he was like sexually attacking her.
Was she a small woman?
Sorry?
Was she small woman?
Yeah, she was tall.
No. I asked if she was small, but you said she was tall.
Again, the phone's breaking up so bad I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
Okay. Was she a small woman?
She was like middle age.
Okay. All right. Okay. I know what's happening. Okay. So what that was a hunter. And it sounds kind of sci-fi, but it's a hunter. And this is a person that is going around and actually looking to stop people that are... Can you hear me pretty good now? Hello? Why can't you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. What that was that you actually keyed into what was happening to someone else, which basically means that there's someone that is looking to subjugate people, and that's a pretty dangerous situation. Now, I have one more question. When you looked out your window, was it your window? Okay, so it was your backyard. This was happening in your backyard. Okay, at this juncture, what I'm going to have to do is I'll talk to you at another time about this, okay? This is kind of too big to talk about it on the show. But we'll talk about that at another point in time. I'll probably give you a ring tomorrow. Or message you tomorrow on Facebook, okay? This is very important. All right, but thanks for calling in, though, okay? It's great that I know that. Now I can help you do something about it, okay? All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, I know what that is. Hey, Seth, how you doing? So, this particular person, the situation that she actually saw something that I'm pretty familiar with. Remember, at the same time as there are people like me that are helping to reveal things to you all and helping you to find the positive and helping you to protect yourself against psychic attack, there are people out there that are also the attackers, the type of people that are looking to subjugate you. So it's very important for you to learn how to protect your energy and to protect your family's energy. And I can't stress how important this is. Okay, so I told you all a little while ago that there are things that are dimensional bleed-throughs and that we would be going through. There are people who have chosen to evolve, and there are people who have chosen to de-evolve. There are also people who have chosen to evolve on the right-hand path and the left-hand path, if you will. In other words, both sides have evolution. That means that even evil evolves. Evolution is not partial to good. Evolution is evolution. But there are people who are evolving that are on the dark-hand side that are looking to steal another person's blessing or another person's what should be happening to another person. There are people out there that know how to steal your energy, and they can do it in many different guises, to steal your energy. So there's something that is good that is supposed to be happening to you, that is supposed to be coming to you. If they can steal that key, then what they'll do is take that away from you. That means that they will be the one that receive your good, and that happens a lot, and I have cautioned people against it. However, there are people that know how to actively do it now. So you do have to protect yourself against that. If there's something that you're working on that is very near and dear to you, and it is something that should be kept private, please keep it private. And if you know that you have a key, and there are people out there that know that they do, don't be fooled. There are people who are capable of taking it away from you. And that key has to do with your own spirit. No, they can't harm or take your spirit, but they can take things that are meant for your spirit. So, I hate to go into that particular area, but this is just the truth. This is why I strive very diligently to inform you all of what's actually going on. So it's important for you to ask your questions. If you see something, let me know. Okay. Julie Desjardins. I have had that kind of energy at my door. in my dreams recently, and I fight to lock my door to keep it out. Yeah, we'll talk some more, Julie, because yeah, you have a key as well. Listen, women, I have to say this to you all. You know, I don't know if you all know me, but my teacher was a woman, and I happen to love women very dearly. Okay, and I know that I was conditioned so that I could teach women, and I got to tell you all, you make some really crappy choices in guys. Okay, I'm serious. I mean, just for the sake of your not being alone. But you know, you could make that kind of crappy choice, and that person could be the very one that will steal your key. Just because somebody comes up to you and pretends to be spiritual, or pretends to be psychic, or pretends to be mystical, that doesn't mean that they are. Okay? And if you go to an event where you see someone who happens to be at that event the same time as you are, that you think is a mystical person that finds some interest in you, specifically if you're an attractive woman, just because this person comes up to you doesn't mean that that person is supposed to be in your destiny. It means that they saw a really pretty girl and wanted to try to get somewhere with you. And that's just the truth of it. And you all need to sincerely start making better choices in guys. I mean it. Okay? I mean, I always fantasized about doing an event down at the convention center in Portland, in Maine, and having a serious talk with all you women about your taste in men, because most of you really pick up some doozies, you know, and then expect to try to change that guy, or hoping that guy will change, or maybe if you have children they'll change, or maybe if you did this they would change, or maybe if you did that they would change, and then they don't change and then you're stuck. Or you wind up giving all of your strength and power to this person that really doesn't even care. So that just kind of woke that up for me. Seriously, there are other people, and you know what? I have to say this about other women, because you women will do so much dirt. You will do more dirt to other women than any guy can. You're always talking about trust women? No, don't. You don't trust anybody. You get to know them. You find out what they're about. Okay? Because if you have to trust someone, you'll equally have to distrust them. The two go hand in hand. It's really simple. No, women are not better than men. No, men are not better than women. We are equal, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And we are capable of doing dirt to each other just the same as the other side will be capable of doing dirt. But for those of you that have a gift and have a blessing, I'm telling you to come out, because you need to be able to express that so that you can strengthen yourself. You strengthen yourself, and then your gift can't be subjugated. Don't be predictable. Don't be predictable. Even in the movies, you know, there's certain things that happen in movies that are so incredibly predictable. It's just amazing that we still do them. You know, don't go see someone just because they're a woman. Don't go see someone because they're black or they're white. You go because you like the artist, or you like the concept, or you want to see what this is about. I know that many people will go to a movie just because there's a woman in it, or a certain type of woman, or just because there's this guy in it, or a certain type of guy in it. That's called predictability. Don't you get it? Don't be predictable. Do something different. Be free. Don't just give in. Don't just give up. Don't just decide to be normal because someone else says it. You know, don't just decide that, oh, well, you know, I really loved having fun, but because I got married, then that meant I can't have fun anymore. That is so wrong. I can't even tell you how wrong that is. Okay? I've watched so many people give up their dreams because they wanted to be with this particular person. That person would do things like threaten them with the children, to take the children if they didn't stop doing what they really loved to do, or threaten to leave them or divorce them if they didn't stop doing what they really loved to do. Do you know how often I hear this? So we got to make better choices. Seriously. You make better choices, and then you can keep those people away from the door. There are people out there that are looking to sap your strength. Don't sit there and let them do it. Don't let them talk you into madness. Don't let them talk you into being normal just because they don't have any gift. It's like not going out to a disco club because one of your friends can't dance, so they say the disco sucks. No. You don't let the ugliest person in the room decide who's ugly. Am I ranting? Sorry. I'm not meaning to rant, but that's pretty serious because I understand that entity. See, I go and I do things like go into another dimension so that I can free people from certain pains, and a lot of times I have to obey the rules to do that. Okay, I told Taisha I'd talk to her about it later. Okay, so there's some things that just need to happen, and Julie, I'll help you protect yourself, just like I'll help Taisha protect herself, because those things are looking to destroy you. They're looking to take that joy of helping people and being in love with what it is that you are capable of doing and your gift away from you. And they can do it. There are people out there that know how to do it. Just like there are people that know how to protect you. Believe you me, at the same time as I'm teaching you how to think and how to protect yourself and develop your gifts and be positive, there's someone out there teaching the exact opposite. And you know what's really weird is that there are people listening to them. And this is just the truth. Okay, so what other, do we have any other questions? What do you got? Okay. I was going to say I have a few questions recently about dimensional travel. I've had dreams where I would sleep and before waking I would be kind of dizzy, and the room spinning and whatnot. It would strangely allow me to pick and choose the time that I was able to wake up. It's a similar feeling to having a chakra balance done, and I would be in different places that were very real. It is a similar feeling to having a chakra balance done, and I would be in different places that were really real. You typed that twice.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, that particular place that you're talking about there's a name for it. It's actually called a way station. See, I'll explain this to you. Your dreams actually happen on a certain dimension, and that dimension is it's actually the 8th dimension. There's also the dimension of transformation. Okay, so if you're dealing with the 8th dimension, there's this entrance that is there that we like to call the wake station. It's actually a place between sleeping and waking. And if you are crafty and you have the gift to do that, you can pick and choose which part of that dream you will wake up in. You can pick and choose the continuation of that dream. You can even continue from leave off at one night and come back to the other night, so long as you can reach that state. This is what you want to do. What you want to do is see how it feels, exactly how it feels, and pinpoint everything that you were thinking at the time that you got to the way station. Because if you can do that and solidify it, not only could you help yourself in dreams, you can also help other people in dreams. So that's a good thing to have. And if you need training on how to develop that, I am your guy. Okay, so that helps you. That's an important thing there. That's a really important place. Okay, what else have you got? Okay, my husband is here. Julie Desjardins says, my husband is here. Mike, and he had a vision during a 40-minute breathing meditation. He saw himself raised up with the sun behind his body, then laid upon a rock in a dark room with sunlight, and the sunlight shone directly on his body, burning away layers of issues. How does he achieve that purification? I think that it's already being achieved, because if he saw that, then he probably needs to place himself in the same way. This is what vision is for. Vision is to be fulfilled, or to warn, or to change. Okay, so if you saw that particular vision, what you might do is find a place that feels like it did in your dream, and lay there and see what happens, and then recount every single thing that you were thinking. But I would dare say that that particular process is already beginning, and you're going to notice certain things coming up, maybe from your childhood, certain layers that are coming up of emotions, of mentalities that you were situated with, even physical maladies that may be lifted out of you. And it may cause a little bit of discomfort. My teacher used to actually call those growing pains. So if I were you, I might put myself in the position of doing that meditation and seeing if you can envision everything that you saw. Actually, What you could use is a good soul travel. That might help you. Okay, why don't you at some point in time give me a call and I can set up a soul travel for you, because I can actually do the guided form of that so that it can help you to reach that sooner. Okay? Maybe through Julie, or maybe you can set up an appointment. I'll sit and talk with you for a while on how to do that. It would help you out immensely, I think. I think you're also one of those people that has been given a gift but you have no clue what to do with it. Okay, like most people. So I think that would actually help you. Like a spinning vortex, yeah.
David Beal says.
Yeah, no, don't do that, never. Okay, I'm reading. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but other people don't
Yeah,
like the reading.
I'm thinking, don't. I mean it. Alicia Valentine. Alicia Valentine says, my dad did this, and he was able to choose the life that he lived here on Earth. Wow, cool. Okay, what is it that your dad did? Okay, he keyed into the dream realm?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so can you tell me what caused my angel to stop talking to me? Your angel didn't stop talking to you, you stopped listening. That's just the way that it goes. Maybe you didn't heed something that was given to you. Okay, she says, can you tell me what caused my angel to stop talking to you? Listen, they don't do that. They're not like that. If they do stop talking to you, it's because they're waiting for you to fulfill something that you promised to fulfill, or something that they needed you to fulfill. They're always in communication with you. They're not conditional like we believe that they are. Okay? They have their ways of doing things, and I'm going to tell you for a fact that your angel did not stop speaking to you. You're just not hearing them the way that you would. Okay? Okay.
Julie says thanks, I will hold him somebody.
Good. Do that, because that'll help him out immensely.
That's it.
All right. So, as I was saying earlier, there are things that are happening in this earth that we need to pay attention to. Okay? And you need to be involved in order for you to pay attention to them. Remember this. There are so many forces that are working on our behalf, but there are so many forces that are working against us as well. Wait, Taish, where does Taish live? Taish, where do you live?
Lives in
I thought she lived in New York. Do you live in New York? Well,
Manhattan,
yeah, so she lives in New York. Yeah, New York has a lot of those things. I'll be coming to New York soon, as a matter of fact. I cannot yet divulge as to why I will be going to New York, but I will be going to New York soon, so maybe I can see what I can see there. New York has a lot to offer in the form of negative vibration. Okay, what time do we have?
9:06.
9:06. Okay. It is 9:06. If there are any other questions, I'd be more than willing to answer them. You can either give us a call at area code 207-347-5686, or you can just call right into the chat room and I will answer your questions that way. A lot of good questions today. I appreciate those. And I actually got to teach a little bit. So if there's a subject that you would like to have some teaching on as to the Way of the Unicorn segment of the show, please maybe fill some requests. Now, that being said, I do teach classes, and I do not teach my classes for free. However, this is my way of giving to my spiritual community. If you need classes, I teach in 6-week segments, and that's 2 classes a week, 1 hour per class, and that is over a period of 6 weeks, and that is $500. And actually, I'm kind of cheap, for what it is that I teach. I give you a lot of information. I know what I'm talking about, and I can help you develop yourself. It may happen a lot quicker than you think it will. For those of you that need specialized training, that's something else we will discuss all together. If you're looking to do an apprenticeship, then we will discuss that as well. Now, if there are manual arts that you are looking to learn, such as some type of music, art, dance, film, or anything like that, when it comes to film, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm not that great, but I'm pretty good. After seeing the Rocks movie today, I think I kind of suck. But I can at least show you how to use a camera. My thing is I get you to keep a promise to yourself. If you say that you're going to do something, I will ensure that you keep that promise to yourself. If you need training in martial arts, I teach several forms of martial arts. If you need to get yourself together physically, I am a certified fitness trainer. I have trained people for over 25 years. As far as martial arts, I've done the same. So if you are looking to have that type of training, if you have any other questions, if you need a reading, if there's an event or a speaking engagement that you would like me to speak at, that can be arranged as well. You can go to www.unicorn-cove.com and you can write in your request. You can also go to www.asktheunicorn.com. And for those of you that are really interested in movies, let me know that. You can go to Unicovia Pictures, the Unicovia Pictures site on Facebook, or you can go to FalkirMovie.com, and that is a movie that we're filming now, which is called Falkir. I'm also involved in another movie that is called Frostbite, and that is under the direction of Seth Roberts and production by the producers Alan Dillingham. It's a very good movie. I'm enjoying my role in it. And I also enjoy my role in Falkir. Falkir is about 4 women that are taken from different time periods by the gods and given a choice by fate to either meet their demise or become legendary creatures known as the Valkyrie and save the earth. And I'm doing my best at it. I need money. We need to make better things. But we're very creative and we're very good at what we do.
People ask, what will it take to develop the ability to travel? Do you know?
It would take training, a lot of training. It would definitely take training. However, I think that since you already have the gift, it wouldn't take a whole lot of training. You would have to learn more how to protect yourself on the 8th dimension than anything. So people that are gifted, like myself and like other people, a gift is never enough. A gift can take you so far, but then you have to have the discipline. You have to have the training. You have to know the rules. It's really important to know the rules. All right, then. That being said, if there's no more questions. Oh, there's a question. Okay, Anthony Gone asks kind of a random question, but why is it that when we are children, time seems to go much slower than it does as an adult? I've always wondered about that. Well, because as a child, you don't have to go to work. As a child, you don't have to pay bills. As a child, you don't have to pay rent. As a child, you don't have nearly the amount of stress that you do as an adult. And as an adult, you always have to put on different airs for different people at different times. That's one reason. The other reason is that you are keenly aware of time. When you're a child, the only thing that you're waiting for is your favorite show to come on, the next meal that you're going to have, the next little girlfriend that you might meet, or the next event in your life, like going to Disneyland, like 2 days from now. If you're waiting to go to Disneyland 2 days from now, that can seem like an eternity.
Eat, sleep, play, repeat.
Okay? Pretty much. As a child, it's eat, sleep, play, repeat. As a teenager, it's eat, sleep, rave, repeat. And as a young adult, it's eat, sleep, rave, repeat. And as an adult, it is eat, sleep, pay bills, and hope you have enough to eat tomorrow. Not to mention the fact that college occupies a lot of people's time. It just does. And then you wind up having to pay for college even longer. And then when you think that you've paid for college, oh no, there's interest. So your college loan was $40,000. You paid them $42,000, and now you still owe them $60,000. That's why. And what is that?
Nothing.
Okay. So, that being said, I will give another minute for people to ask questions or say something.
There's like a 2-minute lag.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I don't know why there's a 2-minute lag. Is that because we're lagging on the show? For those of you that I've said that I will set up something to talk with you, I will do that. In the meantime, I'd like for you all to think about the things that I've told you. And you gifted people out there, please. Can we just come out and admit that we're gifted? Okay? I promise you this, God is not going to hate you. I don't care what that guy that stands there and tells you that you're a sinner says. You know that the word sin really means mistake, right? Well, for those of you that don't know it, you know it now. Okay? Doesn't mean you're evil. I'm just telling you. You know, so. All right then. Well, I would like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn / The Way of the Unicorn. I thank you. Silent Bob thanks you. And Ling thanks you. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, think about the things that I've told you. Okay? Think about those things that come to you. Let your mind do what it's supposed to do. Let your mind think. Be imaginative. See what you can see. Experience what you can experience. Do what you can do. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next installment of Ask the Unicorn, The Way of the Unicorn. Until then, listen, try to be good to each other. I know that sometimes you get a little stressed, and I know that sometimes you get a little frustrated. But even in your stress and frustration, try to be good to each other. Okay? Find a way. Do something good. Go see a movie. If you can't go see a movie, go play a video game. And yes, I play video games. I love video games, okay? And I don't care what people say, well, I don't like video games because they're a waste of time. Well, waste of whose time? It's my time. Shut up. I can play whatever I want. All right, then. There is what? What's the question? Okay. Alicia Valentine says, should I feel pressure when channeling? Yes. You're going to feel some pressure when you're channeling. Just depending on what it is that you're channeling. Make sure that what you're channeling is actually useful to you. Okay? And you should be pretty safe. However, if you begin to feel a negative pressure, please cease doing that. Okay? You may need training as well. All right. Thank you very, very much for your questions. Have a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you all next week.
Night-night.
Night-night.